I want to share something that completely changed my life. In October 2019, when I was 39, I had a stroke. Not something you expect at that age. Not something you ever think will happen to you, but it did. Even though I might look normal today, the truth is, things have never been exactly the same since. I was at home, watching TV, just relaxing. I went to make a sandwich at the kitchen bench. I was home alone. That's when I noticed something strange. My left arm and leg went numb. I couldn't stand up straight. At first, I thought it was just a cramp. It went away, then came back on and off. Then my left side of my mouth started drooping. I had to lean against the wall to stay standing. That's when I realised this might be serious. I was anxious and confused. I didn't know what was happening. I had multiple tests and scans. Every hour felt long. When the doctors finally told me, I got tears. My mother and my grandfather both had strokes and died from them. And now it's happened to me. I was scared to go to sleep at night, not knowing what might happen while I slept. I didn't know how long I would go medically in the future. The doctors explained it was a right lenticular nucleus stroke, which is a tongue twister, a type of stroke in the brain area called the basal ganglia. This area helps control movement, coordination, and how different parts of the brain communicate. Because it happened on the right side, it affected the left side of my body. That's why I had numbness and difficulty standing. But most people couldn't see these effects. A lot of the effects are invisible. From the outside, I might look normal, but inside my brain was still healing. I still get pins and needles. I still get brain fog. Fatigue hits harder than people realise. I can easily get angered and often sad. Public places, like shopping centres, can feel overwhelming. And yet, I was motivated to continue with life. I want to get back to work. Over time, I learned to control my emotions. I learned to manage my stress. That was a huge achievement for me. One of the moments that felt like a real achievement was driving my car alone for the first time. It might sound small, but for me it was huge. It was a sign of independence, a sign I was reclaiming parts of my life. Strokes run in my family. My mother had one. My grandfather also suffered some strokes and they've both passed away. When it happened to me, it wasn't just a medical event, it was confronting. Something that had affected my family in the past has now happened to me. Last year I experienced two TIA events, also called mini strokes. They happened about a week apart. The first one occurred after a very stressful day. During that episode, my jaw clenched on the left, and my right side of the jaw drooped. I had a slight headache at first, and my words were slurred slightly. The second TIA was almost exactly a week later. The symptoms mirrored the first incident. I was anxious and worried. I feared it could be another full stroke or maybe even worse. After each incident, I was taken to hospital by ambulance. I was rushed for CAT scans and further medical tests. Doctors explained that stress and the lingering effects from my previous stroke likely contributed to the TI events. Looking back, these incidents didn't stop me from continuing my daily life, but I still notice my jaw clenching multiple times a day and my left lip sometimes raising up. I've learned how to manage it and look after myself, and managing my stress has become a key part of my routine in my daily life. Strokes can happen to anyone, even celebrities and famous people. Luke Perry, Luther Vandross, and many others have experienced a stroke, even in the middle age. Even US presidents like Ronald Reagan have had strokes. Strokes don't care about your age, your fame, or your lifestyle. They can happen suddenly, they can change everything. I know that because it has happened to me. Recovering from a stroke isn't just leaving the hospital. It's physical, mental, and emotional. You learn to adjust. You learn to recognize your limits. You rebuild your life around the person that you are now. Some days are easier than others. Some days remind you of how things have changed. I'm now on medication for life to help manage my stroke risk and protect my health. Surviving something like this also changes how you see life. It makes you realize how fragile it is. It shows how important it is to keep moving forward. The biggest lesson I want people to take from my story is appreciate life. At any second, anything can change. Take each day as it is. If you want to do something, go and do it. Because there may not be a chance tomorrow. Even though I look normal now, my life has changed forever. Every day, I choose to keep moving forward. I choose to keep appreciating the life that I have. After going through something like a stroke, you start seeing life differently. You realize the small moments matter more than they thought. And that's the one reason why I started to share my things on YouTube. Not because my life is perfect, but because it's real. I share the things I enjoy. Cars, concerts, exploring places, but also experiences like this. Because sometimes hearing someone's story can help people realize they're not alone. If you have experienced a stroke or someone close to you has, feel free to share your story in the comments. If you want to see more real life experience and stories like this, consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.